Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Ross here, and today's video is going to be a tutorial on how to best balance your nighttime and daytime budgets. A lot of people out there have been noticing that they go really far down into the red during the nighttime, and I'm going to show you how to kind of finagle those sliders to best suit your city. So let's get into it. To start out this tutorial, I'm going to highly recommend getting City Vitals. This mod lets you see an accurate representation on a bar graph of what's happening in your city at any given moment, and will help you manipulate those sliders between daytime and nighttime to figure out what's the best policies and the best amount of taxes, and also those sliders about the budget between the daytime and nighttime. So I highly recommend getting City Vitals mod. The next thing is to understand that City Skylines After Dark did more than just add nighttime and daytime. It added new policies and also new districts. These new districts are actually very important for you to make money during the nighttime, and that's what a lot of people are having problems with, especially tourism and leisure specializations, which come in handy. Tourism, you're going to want a very narrow spread of tourism. You don't want to get everything to be a tourist district. I highly recommend every tourist district to have about 4 to 5 leisure specializations, as most of your citizens would want to go out and do leisure. Not all of them are going to be able to go do tourist activities. Tourism is specifically designed for tourist incoming to your city, where leisure is designed for everybody. As you can see, I have 2 different leisure districts right here, right next to my tourism, and I have multiple different leisure districts throughout my city so that my citizens can then actually go do things during the daytime or nighttime. So you need to have a good amount of this leisure district specialization for your city to actually make money during the night, as a lot of the other businesses are going to be closed during the night, and that's what you're noticing as the drop at nighttime. As we go into night right here, you're going to see a drop in money. And why you're seeing a drop in money is because, well, all those office buildings are going to be turned off. And right here, these are all office buildings, and you can see there's not many workers here, and there's 3 overeducated workers, but that's not what we're worried about. But these are not necessarily making as much money. You can see right here, we went from 6,000 weekly income, and we're dipping down, and we just dipped down to 500, and that's what to be expected. You're going to see a dip in your weekly income, and you're going to see it rise again. And as I talk, you're going to see that number rise again back to about 6,000, and you're going to have about a 30%, maybe even a 50% income differential between your nighttime cycle and your daytime cycle, but you can definitely balance it. So let's get into those sliders. So let's pull up this budget and this economy tab, okay? Now the one thing is I'm going to show you my tax rate. I have the residential at 9%, I have the low density commercial at 10%, the industry at 10%, and then the rest at 11%. So that's the first thing. The second thing is look at all these different sliders. None of them are equal. None of them are even close to being equal. And you can see even in my nighttime, I'm creeping up there to that 6,000, just like I told you. Now, a lot of your cities that when they first start out, you do not need to have your sliders at the buses at 100%. Throw them down all the way down to 50%, and you're going to make at least a lot more money, because the bus routes are not going to be beneficial enough until you get in bigger cities. The next thing is to look at your power, and this is where City Vitals comes in very handy. There are different power settings throughout the day and night cycle. Now, my day cycle has 120%, where my night cycle has 105%, and that seems to be the happy medium. It's about a 15% decrease from what your daytime cycle is to what your nighttime cycle is. Now, not every slider needs to be touched, but nonetheless, some of them do need to be touched, and let's go over that right now. Your next 3 most expensive expenses is going to be your fire department, your medical, as well as your police department. As you can see right here, I have, following this 15% rule, I have a 15% decrease on my healthcare during the nighttime. My fire department, I leave even, leave exactly at 100%, because I have not noticed any more fires or less fires during the night versus daytime cycle, and I really don't want to mess around with that too much, and I leave it at 100%. And then police, I have a little bit less police at 90% versus 100% during the nighttime, because, well, crime is a little bit more committed at night. The last 3 columns on the left hand side is education, parks and leisure, as well as your unique buildings. Education, I have a huge flip-flop on budget. I have 120% during the daytime versus 85% at night. Now, for some reason, the game still has night school. So right now I'm taking in up to 1,100 students during the daytime, and then it drops down to about 760 during the night. I don't know why there's night school, but you can't really send that slider all the way down to 50% because this is not just a 24-hour day cycle. As you can see right here, this is multiple different days cycle. And it's something to keep in consideration that day and night lasts about a week. And if you leave it entirely off or all the way down at 50%, you are going to have some really big problems with your education or really any service that you do that to. Now, since you have your sliders at different intervals between nighttime and daytime, you're going to notice at some point during your city that little bubbles are going to come up, such as death bubbles, trash bubbles, or even, like I said before, your low land value bubbles. Now, these will change and go away. A couple bubbles is not bad. Keep that in mind. As it switches back over, you're going to have the bubbles disappear as more trucks and more services come into play. Now, another thing about the night-day cycle, and I already talked about you having your buses and other mass transit, but let's actually click on this mass transit highlighted, and we're going to click on different lines. Now, this pink line right here, I have set to daytime only, and actually most of my lines are set to daytime only, because, well, they're not going to be traveling to work. Now, the one thing is you're going to see all these blue buses here. These, what they are is actually this one line right here is my nighttime only. Now, I have one line running at nighttime, and what it does is it makes a pretty big circle all around the city, getting to all the different points. But nonetheless, it's one bus line serving at night versus having 5 bus lines serving at night. So it definitely decreases your amount of budget that you have to spend. It's 960 during the nighttime, and it's I forget how much it is. I think it's around 1,400 during the daytime. So it's something that you really need to think about is how many buses that you really want to have running between the nighttime and daytime. Now, one thing you want to keep track of is this lower left-hand corner is your day-night cycle. So right there, the sun is at the highest. You can see it's kind of right there in the middle. And what I would like you guys to do is to go into your economy tab and kind of take note of what money that you're actually making. Now, you can see that I'm making $37,000 in taxes from low density residential, making $8,000 in taxes from the low density commercial, only $180 from high density. But then the specializations, you can see that I'm making $10,000 for leisure, or $9,000 for leisure, and $600 in tourism. So keep track of what you're actually making here so you can actually compare during the night and see what is actually affecting your income during the night cycle. So now we're at the same point. The moon is in the middle now, and we can see right here that I lost about $3,000 a week on the low density commercial income, and also I lost about $2,500 in the leisure income as well as my trash expenses went up, and so it's balancing out around $2,400 right now, but that will rise. And if you see a little dip into the red, it's okay. What you don't want to see is that like negative $6,000, negative $10,000 during the night, because you do have to remember that the cycle lasts more than just a nighttime. It is quite literally the same amount of time as the day cycle. So if you're gaining $6,000 during the day and losing $6,000 during the night, you're pretty much breaking even and you're not gaining any money. So it's something to keep note of where this money is actually going during the nighttime and daytime, so you know how to accurately manipulate these sliders to best situate your city. So at the tail end of the night cycle, here I am at $4,500 budget, and it's going up, or $4,600 profit. It's going up, but the sun is coming up now. So now businesses are going to start to increase, and you can see this numbers is jumping. It's 8,000 now, 9,000, and it's this in-between phase that you're actually going to be making a lot of money here, because it seems that there's a gap between nighttime and daytime budgets where a lot of things start to, turn on. But then, as you can see, it went up to 14,000, and now it's going to fall back down. I don't necessarily understand why, but it seems that there's an overlap during the budgets where everything turns on and then you make a wealth of income, but then your daytime policies come into effect and then your weekly income decreases back down. And it seems like it's about that 50% mark or to 35% mark less than your daytime and weekly, profits that you'll make at nighttime. And I think that's a good area to aim for. Now, I'm pretty sure you could probably get better if you manipulate the sliders even some more, and I'm sure a lot of you are going to have good ideas as well. So please share them in the comments below about what you found out about how to manipulate these sliders, how much, commercial versus how much leisure space that you should have, how much tourism space. These are all good ideas, and we as a community can help each other. So please put down in the comments what you have found out with manipulating these daytime and nighttime budgets. So that's the end of this quick tutorial on the day and night cycles and how to better balance your budget. There was a lot of information, and I know this tutorial ran a little bit longer than I was expecting it to, but I wanted to make sure that I gave you guys all the information that I possibly could. Now, if it did help you out and you did like the video, please hit the thumbs up. It does greatly help my channel, and I really do appreciate it. And like I said before, please leave a comment below. If it's a really good comment, I will make sure to credit you the next time I make a video. As always though, I'm the Flying Ross, and I'll check you guys next time.